Oh, damn it. Where am I now? Okay, and then,
Approaching Stargate.
Hey guys, here to talk a little bit about Haven. It's surprising how many, the most frequently asked questions, I feel like at this point everybody should know, but there's a lot of new players coming in, see it a lot on forums, even people that have been running around Haven for a couple of days, they say, and they can't find things. So hopefully, this video can help some of you. If you're finding it, if you're just starting out the game, just some key points. And Haven has changed. I've been at this for like month and a half maybe, and Haven's changed a bunch since then, and I know they're adding more to it, so hopefully when you find this it's not super out of date. Number one question I see is, where are bears? Everybody wants to tame them. Totally understand, bears are awesome, but they are right here. There's only 3 of them, and they reside right in this little region. Pre-release there used to be one over here. That guy's no longer there. So if you go back and if you saw like my taming video, I tamed mine over there, but don't be running around looking over there at all at this point. Number 2 question I feel like is wolves. Wolves only down here at this point, and there's just like 2 of them. And they'll find you. Just walk over there. There's a little pond, and they'll come running after you. They don't do a whole lot of damage, and the taming on them, I think I tamed mine around 44 was my taming. They're super easy, and they'll level up, but starting out, I remember like I pretty much just got rid of mine because he was doing like 2 damage. I was like, okay, didn't really see a point to it. You do have razorbacks right here. There are other razorbacks in the area, like back here. These are pretty much like the fastest ones to get to. You just follow the path all the way down. Right after the pond, you'll find them. You'll see a whole field of them. But I know there are some up in this area. Grinder and Crusher. Somehow on Reddit and on the forums, like, so I've seen so
You've
many
been
posts
examined.
and so many people commenting, like, where are these Grinder and Crushers? So when you're doing the crafting one, it takes you over here to the extractor. If you're getting your mining up and stuff, you want to be using the crusher or the grinder, depending on what you're going for. In my opinion, the crusher is the best. Bandit camps, and Nitra are up here. So if you need those, good places to farm, and there's like some chests and stuff for some goodies. Sulfur, so if you are you're doing a lot of furnace stuff and you want to make pig iron out of your blood ore, you can go up here and you can collect furnace. They look like, kind of looks like nitra. It's a lot darker. It's like a dark brown, almost looks kind of like a pine cone. So be looking for those kind of like brown pine cones. And this little loop right here is flowers. Really, the flowers, people like to pick them for generating income. They do sell for a lot and they don't weigh anything, so kind of on your way up there you can look and you'll see like white and blue flowers. If you're out in this region, there's like red flowers. I don't do it because I feel like the graveyard, you could just run through there and pick up so much stuff that, from people leaving it laying around to generate money. But if you're on your way and you got extra room, always pick up flowers. That pretty much sums it up. I want to say those are definitely like the most frequently questions I see all over the forums and just in like the help channel. There you'll see other videos. There's no more ironwood trees. Those used to be up here too. Those don't exist. So if you looking at videos from a year ago, they're not there anymore. There also used to be like coal and stuff, and there's no longer coal in the game in Haven. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. If you guys have questions, post them below. I'll make a link for this if you want to download it and have it instead of having to bring up the video. And I also have like a little one from my guild that somebody made for the flower path. It pretty much follows this road and does a loop around, but I'll probably put a link to that as well. Alright guys, have a good day.
Hello to whoever finds this journal. My days in Maryland have been rewarding as they are troublesome and as often dangerous. I have spent the last 6 years assembling my notes in hopes the knowledge I have gained over the time spent in this world to bring good fortune to whoever finds this and to help them get a better understanding of the world they are about to enter. My intent is to create a compendium of how the world works, what it has to offer, and how you can survive and prosper. There are times I feel my work will only serve more confusion about what I've found, but I also felt it necessary to propose my ideas and experience to illuminate a path to those who wish to explore. Contained within are recipes, survival tips, warnings, and more, all in an effort to promote safe travels and an overall awareness of the world you are entering. There will be times when you will be tested in ways this compendium will either prepare you for or help you from. Choices as a player and a guild may lead to swift and unprecedented consequences. I believe this to be the ultimate guide for survival and success. Welcome to Mortal Online 2. Before we talk about the culinary arts of Mortal Online, let's first do a quick review on nourishment reserves. Your character has stamina, health, and mana reserves. You also have a hunger stat and a thirst stat, but don't worry about the thirst stat, that's for another video and has nothing to do with the topic of today. These nourishment reserves are very important to any character. If the reserves get too low, then you will take penalties ranging from regeneration, total number inside your stat pool, and even gray bar. Gray bar is a less than total of your total stat pool. So if you have 10 stamina, using small numbers for simplicity, and you do a bunch of running and now you're at 5 out of 10 stam and you're low on reserves, you are, quote, tired. You will have a 2-point penalty to what your character can gain back by resting, giving you an 8 out of 10 max stamina cap. The gray bar. This is where food comes into play. With the correct food made by the top chefs of Maryland, the food you eat will greatly and sufficiently give you back your total, and more, hence reserves, giving you an even higher cap, say 15 out of 15, until you get tired or hungry again. The reserves are exactly what they sound like, a reserve for extra points. Your reserves will go down the more you exercise your character, get hit, or cast magic. After the reserves run low, the total point pool lessens and lessens until you rest away your gray bar and eventually sit and eat. Health reserves will go down the more you take damage, and when you rest away your gray bar, it pulls points out of the reserves, and the same goes for stamina and mana. Managing your reserves and hunger can be tricky. For better quality food that you eat, the more hunger it replenishes. But if reserves are too low, or if you have multiple gray bars in different areas, you may have to eat more than one food item, and you may not be hungry enough to do so. Also, keep in mind, any health reserves you attempt to gain over your max reserve limit result into weight gain, and keeping low health reserves or taking damage or using a lot of stamina reserves leads to weight loss. You can make dishes that are strictly for weight gaining, weight loss, size modifiers like growing or shrinking. Cooking is another form of alchemy, more or less, but is also on a separate system with its own unique uses. There are similar, but not the same. Moving on to the cooking skill, it only takes around 900 skill points to be a full cook. You can be a simple cook or the most advanced chef and really get into the system. The skills you will need are as follows. Also, the vast majority of these skills are secondary, so if there is a plus sign next to the skill, it's a parent skill plus the secondary skills underneath it. That way I keep the list short and don't totally info dump on you. Also, make sure that you have the lures that you want to work with, whether that be
advanced
meat,
cooking to
fish,
45. I got
flesh,
no skill up off that, but that's okay.
vegetables,
It's like I'm beyond.
and we'll
beyond
get
that.
into it. Alchemy and alchemy contraptions are both a primary. These skills allow you to use the different alchemy tables that you will need to extract oil, leaves, seeds, and juices from different plants and fruits you will need to cook with. It also reduces yield waste when extracting, and you can unlock taste identification. Next, you will need animal materials and botany. Both of these can be found under the material lore. These skills are the skills that will allow you to learn how to use meat, veggies, plants, wood, and other materials you will cook with. Lures are everything in this game, and cooking is no different. It is important that you know what you are using as well as how to use it, and if your character doesn't know what a carrot is, how will he know where it belongs? That would be in a nice stew. Get your mind out of the gutter. Obviously, you will need the cooking skill and advanced cooking skill. These are self-explanatory. Advanced cooking is a primary, cooking is a secondary. Under the crafting appliances, you will need botany appliances and both skills underneath this. I also heard that you need the metallurgy skill, but I'll be honest, I don't know what that could be used for, but
See
I
what
also
I have
can't
for
give you
you.
all the secrets to the game. The press will allow you to press oils and juices out of fruits and plants. The herb station will allow you to extract leaves and seeds from different plants. Next, you will need cooking tools and advanced cooking tools. Cooking tools are the baking stone, cooking pot, and spit. Advanced cooking
Please
tools
come
are
again.
fermentation jar, baking pot, smoke box, and steam pot. Each tool is used to make specific types of food, such as dumplings, nuggets, barbecued, roasted, stews, soups, breads, pies, you get the idea. We will be talking
I
about
have
this
what
more
you're
later
looking
on in the
for.
guide. Each tool is also best at different
Deal.
nourishments, such as mana, health, and stamina. Herbalism and milling is under extraction. These skills allow you to process grains to turn into flour, and herbalism, as mentioned earlier, are herbs and spices to extract the seeds and leaves.
Only the
Now, by
best.
this time, you should have
Welcome back
200 skill
anytime.
points left over. If you're going to be a full chef, you can spend these points as you wish, like into advanced enderology or other skills. But what I would do personally is go into fishing and butchery. Fishing is an excellent source of income and rare meats and materials that make some of the best food in the game, some of which doesn't even need cooked or butchered and can be eaten whole and raw. Butchery is self-explanatory. This will get you your meats, your skins, your teeth, and other ingredients that you would need and help raise the lures of the food you cook with. So let's move on to talking about food, what you all probably came here for. This is a starter guide, so don't expect any endgame recipes or deep dark secrets. The cooking system is still being discovered and learned, and everyone getting into the skill is still learning the skill. Some say it's broken, some say it's still being learned. What is for certain is some foods do not need cooked, some foods only need one or two ingredients, and anything more people say is just for role-playing purposes. But to build on the thought of what is certain, when you trade a player a nice looking piece of food, say like nuggets, they will be happy and value the food a bit more than a normal everyday dish. Remember, chef, people eat with their eyes before their mouths. Also, to go a little further into the cooking, cooking is based off of percentages and ratios, so for those that like math, alchemy and cooking might be for you. I, however, am terrible at math. So to touch on it, say a recipe calls for 9 flour to 1 meat to 1 filler. That is a 9 to 1 to 1 ratio, or 80% flour, 10% meat, 10% filler, giving you 100% product. Let's start cooking to better explain. Cooking with a baking stone will bake you breads and other baked goods. Cooking might be for their mouths. Also, to go a little further into the cooking, cooking is based off of percentages and ratios, so for those that like math, alchemy and cooking might be for you. I, however, am terrible at math. So to touch on it, say a recipe calls for 9 flour to 1 meat to 1 filler. That is a 9 to 1 to 1 ratio, or 80% flour, 10% meat, 10% filler, giving you 100% product. Let's start cooking to better explain. Cooking with a baking stone will bake you breads and other baked goods. To achieve this, you need 40% flour base, 20% liquid or oil base, and 40% less than 40% or equal to 40% fillers. Based on the fillers used, you can produce different quality breads. So let's try to make a banana bread. Now, in order to make the flour that we need for the bread, we must go over and use what I think is called the grinder. Yeah, we need to grind the rye or the flour or spelt, whatever type of wheat or grain that you have harvested. So to do this, we'll go over to the extractor. We have 4,000 rye on us, and we'll do about 1,000 of that to turn to flour. Now, I don't obviously I don't have the lures on my characters, so this isn't going to be max yield or anything. You need the milling skill in order to achieve the better yields out of the rye. So 1,000 with no lore gives us 135. Ugh, that's a little low. but that's okay. We can still work with that. We can still bake a bread. So let's cut over to cooking with the baking stone. Alright, so let's go over to this campfire and see if we can't make some banana bread. So once again, we're looking for 100% ratios, whether that be a 4 to 1 to 1 or a 4 to 2 to 2 types of ratios. What we're looking for is a complete percentage of 100%. So to get started, we drag our baking stone into the cooking window and then add our ingredients. Remember, we're looking for 100% of the product, so 60, 20, 20, or a 6 to 2 ratio. So breads can make one of the best stamina foods in the game. For the banana bread recipe, we're adding 20 milk, 60 rye, and 20 bananas, a 6 to 2 ratio. Now this recipe had a little bit of food poisoning in it. Not enough to really make you worry, but I added boar into the recipe and that took away the poison properties. This is why I think you need the metallurgy skill into cooking, because some minerals in the game will negate or take out impurities of the food. Okay, moving on to the turn spit. This is probably the first thing you're going to use, and it's pretty decent for health food, but we're going to use the springbok meat to show off a couple of recipes, and this is a good example to how simply using one ingredient over many ingredients will get you different results and sometimes even better results. So if we put 100 springbok onto the spit and hold down cook, we're going to make roasted springbok. Sapid is the quality of your dish. Roasted is just the type of process it went to making the dish. And then if you look down, our health nourishment is at 20, our stam is at 19. That's just cooking the meat alone. If we wanted to go a little deeper into the system, the cooking spit is the only barbecue utensil in the game. You can have up to a 5% water base, and you can have up to a 11% of fuel source, meaning wood. So 11%, but for like simple math, we're gonna call it 15%. You can have 11% minimum. Let's use 60 springbok meat, and we'll drag that here. Now for a fuel source, we're going to just take, we'll take 15 of that. Remember, we're trying to hit 100%. So let's add some pepper into there. We'll add like, I don't know, 10 pepper. And we can add a water source or a liquid source. For some reason, you can't use cream. You might be able to use milk. Let's try milk. Okay, so if we look at our numbers, here's 20, 30, and 90. So we can probably add a bit more pepper into that, or if we have anything else in here. We have some rye flour, we have some rye. So where are we at? 70, 85, 90. Let's add 10 rye into this. And then we're going to compare the differences. So we have eccentric white wood roasted springbok with milk, pepper, and whole rye. See, the health nourishment is at an 8. The stam's at 12, but the mana nourishment's pretty high. There's also some food poisoning in there because I didn't put boar in, but hey, that is what it is. But you see how just adding, like, just sometimes leaving things alone give you better health nourishment. We can't add cream using this utensil, so I know from MO1 that sorry, I'm trying to think and do math. I know from MO1, pepper used to be a health resource. So we're gonna add 20 pepper, and we're gonna add some milk to give it some more fattening properties. So if we just cook this together, oh, nothing happens. Oh, that's because we use too much milk. We gotta use up to 5% liquid base. And then we can probably add the white wood, but let's just try this recipe real quick. Okay, that makes experimental roasted springbok milk and pepper. It gives it a bit more health nourishment than adding the rye and adding the wood. It seems all pretty even, actually. And there's still some food poisoning in there. That's probably... Well, no, we added milk. Not sure what's given it the poison length.
Gotta go
Maybe
west.
the rye? No, we didn't use rye. But either way, it just goes to show, like, sometimes it's better just to cook things the way they are than to add a bunch of complicated recipes. Anything more than just a few ingredients into a dish is more or less served for like role-playing purposes, but it's always fun to experiment and to come up with your own recipes. There's foods out there that can make you shrink, that can make you grow, that can make you gain weight, lose weight, age, de-age, or maybe the aging's alchemy. There's a lot of different things that food can do, and there's thousands of different combinations and recipes. This is a really deep system, but sometimes sometimes less is more. So let's move on to our next tool. Okay, moving on to our last basic tool item, it's going to be the cooking pot. Upon adding a liquid, it is very important that you ratio your liquids correctly. If you have less than 25% liquid, you are going to make a stew. If you have 26 to 50%, you're going to make a boiled dish. And 51 to 90%, you're going to make a soup. Anything higher than a 90% liquid, you have a chance to make a decoction. A concoction. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but each one of these different types of dish that you can make with this pot is going to have a different outcome on the stats of the item, the nourishment of the items. So we're going to try to make we're going to try to cook each of these dishes, and if it takes too long or whatever, then I'll probably cut it down. I want to talk about fish meat. We're going to try to work with fish meat a little bit. Fish meat is super tricky in the game. I know like fishing and cooking go hand in hand, as you want all natural ingredients, and fishing and alchemy also go hand in hand. Some fish you can eat without cooking, and it gives you benefits right away. Some you don't even have to butcher, you can just eat the fish whole. It's really weird. Much like how the turnspit, we just put springbok meat on the turnspit and it gave us 20 health nourishment, then we tried to add a bunch of things together. It's not necessarily like you're adding things to the nourishment. It's not an additive or a multiplier. It's really weird on how this system works, and people are still very much trying to figure it out. I just wanted to touch up on fish meat. Sometimes you want to butcher fish, sometimes you just want to eat it all, sometimes you want to butcher it and just eat the meat raw, but we're going to do a bit of we're going to do a bit of experimenting, because this is what this skill is all about. So I'll probably cut some things down until I find something that works. Let's begin with a stew. So we're going to add a less than 20, we're going to add 20 since that's less than 25. And then let's add some hot peppers into there. This is going to be mostly a filler, so we'll add 50. And then let's try to add some basil leaf. So we have 70 right now. We can just add 30 into there. Oh, but we need a meat. So let's add 20 more, rather. And then we'll add 10 boarfish meat and see what this comes out as. So let's go ahead. This should make a stew. So we got strange capsium stew with bayless and boarfish. The health nourishment is very low, but the stam nourishment's pretty okay, and it does have some food poisoning and
I suspect some of this stuff gives you secret stats, and I think they hide it from the community, and I don't know what it would be. But I don't know what it would be. Like I've never known MMO food to not give you stats and whatever you want, and I don't see why this would be any different. But they seem to be indicating that all of it only gives you health nourishment, stamina nourishment, or mana nourishment. And I'm like, I don't know. I think I think a good system would be, oh, I'm an archer, I eat Dex food, and I don't know why they would have a different system than that.
Poison length, again, add boar and it will get rid of all the impurities in it, but it did end up making a stew. Now we're going to try for a boiled dish. For a boiled dish, we need 26 to 50%.
Oh, I went to
liquid.
the wrong way. Oops.
So let's just go ahead and add 50 peppers into that. Let's go ahead and see what happens. This should make boiled. Yep. Now, what else is interesting is if we would add flour into that, we could make a fried or a deep fried item. You can add around 44% fat, like cream, butter, tallow, to make a deep fried item. And with that and flour, I wonder if we can make like springbok nuggets. I know like people are constantly trying to figure out how to make nuggets, so I don't know, let's have some fun and try to make like some meat nuggets. Alright, so we got some tallow. I really want to try to make these nuggets, man. Okay, so
oh
we
yeah,
got
I'm
some
going
tallow.
to.
We can add, we'll add 75 to this, and then we will add, that might be too high actually, because you know we just don't want bread nuggets, so let's add 60.
I'm gonna change it because he's boring me a little bit. I don't think he's giving me that much. Oh, I mean, it was informative, but I already knew all this. None of it's like insider stuff.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? How's the sound, guys? That is good. Great. So, hello everyone, how are you doing today?
Good.
Touch low, eh? Let me boost a little bit. Is it better? Is it better? Are we good?
Yeah.
Sound check, sound check. Better. Great. Alright. So, lots of work, little sleep lately. That's what's going on at Starworld here. But it feels good because we're making a lot of great progression. You're a bit too white. I do look white on the screen, don't I? Something is up with my camera. One day I'm orange, one day I'm white, but I guess it's fine. So yeah, we've been spending a lot of focus on performance as one of the big thing. As you all now know, we're moving over to Unreal Engine 5. This will be a very huge milestone. Being the world first MMORPG on this technology, Unreal Engine 5. And you know, Unreal 5 comes with a huge update, especially when it comes to how to illuminate the game world, making it much more realistic and beautiful. And along with that, usually comes some requirements on hardware, which means, you know, obviously it comes at a small baseline increased cost on various things when it comes to utilizing this technology. So we worked very hard to make sure that client performance is as good as possible. And you guys helped us out with a battle test. What was it, 2 patches ago, right? The first battle, we identified stalls, CPU stalls, where people froze during mid-combats. If you remember what I'm talking about, if you were here in that test. which obviously raised some concerns when it comes to battle experience, right? So we put all hands on identifying that. So we had a debug client. So with your help, we identify those bottlenecks and different things causing the stalls. And the patch we went on PTR yesterday had those fixes in it, and you guys were very helpful again to pretty much confirm our possible fixes, and it seems like you got the same confirmation result as we did, which means very smooth experience in mid combat as well. It was very clear what stood out, along with the new engine that kind of didn't behave good enough. So there's a few things that we're utilizing more now, which is actually the hard drives. So if any one of you getting some stall still and you are on a old mechanical drive, that is one component that is being a little bit out of date. There are cases where you load data and you notice those stalls more or starters more on an old hard drive. So it's not optimal anymore to use those older hard drives for these types of games. We already seen a few games that actually have it as a requirement, which is quite jerry. But we understand why, right? And of course also depending very much if you have a very old CPU, old GPU, obviously it's gonna be difficult to run it in with amazing FPS. That's just how it works with a little bit newer technology. But very happy to see from the feedback based on the test that very smooth overall. Also increased baseline FPS since last build. And that's been a lot of the hard work the team have been doing when it comes to performance, and just running around in the world without having these huge, as you call them, node lines, are pretty much removed from the game, but they are level streams, and they are mostly gone now from the game in all locations. There may still be some very short drops in FPS, but it should absolutely not be the long several seconds freezes. So we have a few things today that is gonna be interesting to go through with you guys. I'm waiting on a little document that we're gonna also go through when it comes to upcoming roadmap work and focus. Did we push 5.3 hotfix, guys? Did we do a PTR patch today, or we haven't? I'm a little bit out of the loop here. No, we didn't, right? No. So we do have one important hotfix. We identified one big stall on, like I said, older hard drives. Had a huge stall, several seconds, even more than that. And we got a hotfix from Epic Games that's supposed to fix that, so it's much more acceptable for those that have older hard drives. Current document. So I'm gonna present to you the different features and content that we're gonna vote on and discuss more in depth, and then we'll build the roadmap based on that. John Oldman, thank you for the subscription. Hi there, hi there. Staff Magic is on that list, so we will shortly go through it. Danny, thank you for the bits. When we get the MO1 armor system where copper-based armor like TM provide shock resilience and material like ABAM and pyrophyte block other types of magic. We never had that in Mortal 1. You didn't have armor that resisted any magic. This is the first time we actually add categories to be able to affect exactly that. So as you've seen already with elementalism, some of the damage types are magical, heat, blunt, piercing, and obviously armor works as you would expect, negating blunt or piercing, for instance, or slash. So let's see. There is a diva system also on this list. We will go through it shortly. You want more FOV? You want higher FOV? I can take a look on my notes to see if it's possible to increase a little bit. We'll see. Steering wheel. We'll take a look on the FOV settings if there's something we can add. Sitting in a chair is on the list. Yes, it comes included in a little specific feature that I will go through shortly here. We are still working on updating the bubble and the taxes, so that's more clear and understanding. They're obviously, you know, they go on top of each other's, confuse what goes where, right? So we are still working on that and polishing. Guild members must have access for paying upkeep for all guild structures. Yeah, that's one topic, right? We've got a lot of feedback since we announced our latest PTR patch notes. That's always good to get indication and feedback and discussions while there's still time and testing things, right? I will be voting on roadmap work. So first of all, we're gonna go through it, right? And then we're gonna post it also on the forum so everyone can read it in whatever they want and can, so they get a good understandings of exactly what we aim to deliver along with those features and content. And then we will open up the voting session, which kind of so you will be able to log into your account on our website, and there will be a option to vote on these different categories here. There will most likely be a few ones that you will be able to select in each category, and then we will use that as indication of, you know, hopefully help us iron out interest and the different kind of things, because we have, it's a huge list, right? I can't even guess in total how much development time we're talking about when it comes to covering the entire list, but obviously some of them may be much more important to have early on rather than later on, right? So those are the things we're gonna try to together go through.
You've been examined.
You're going to send an email to all owners of the game? What do you mean, for the votes or what?
Let's go to Norg now. Wait, I guess it's faster to go this way.
A voting game for subscribers. Yeah, we'll take a look, right? Currently we're looking at using the account section because that's the system connected to Steam, Epic Games and the payment solutions which allows us to identify players, and we could also identify subscription status and such. So obviously we want to make the voting as controlled as possible. So yes, we are looking into those different options. Will it be one vote for account or one vote for copy? So those are the details, right? We're gonna clear out. Either it's gonna be you log into your account and vote, obviously, which means then in that case, if you have 3 accounts, you can log into those 3 accounts, and that will result in 3 votes. So we'll have to see, right? One suggestion, as someone said here, tie them to active accounts. That's one solution, right? What is about no bought items? So that's the thing. We're not really selling any items. We're not gonna add a microtransaction shop where you can buy your weapons or anything like that. We offer, as many wanted, a package discount for those that know that they've been here for a long time. They're still following the process, which means they see the support pack that we're offering now. That is a nice discount. And if anyone wanted to jump aboard on that already now, that would be, you know, an option for those. And since we haven't really opened up the gates again for random new players, no marketing, no awareness, it's mostly our current player base that see this only. But yeah, the first step is to go through the different topics options for the roadmap, and the next step is to have the voting session. I'm not sure exactly when we start it, but obviously we're gonna make it well known for everyone. Right. One moment, I'm a little bit distracted.
There they are.
Set up,
Finally.
the sheets for the roadmap. I don't want to put the sheet document, and I want to put up a little nice picture in the stream so everyone can follow. So bear with me if I'm a little bit distracted for a moment here, and then we'll go back at it. All right. Still have more than 1,000 more accounts due to GC shenanigans. Cancellation available for Savage Mental Pack, please. What do you mean, Goose or Mick? What do you mean? How often does Starwatt hope to have actual content patches going forward? So, as you've seen, it's been quite painful for us just as of you. You know, obviously we've never been this standing still for this long, since forever. We had to make the critical decision to jump over and freeze the branches pretty much, which kind of put live status into a frozen state, and not in the best state. We fully agree with that, especially with a lot of important TC polish and fixes that has been reported since we delivered those functions. And naturally, if nothing happens for a long time and it's not the best state, population goes down, people take breaks, and that was kind of expected, and that's why we need to get going with Unreal 5, put the core in, because with that in, finally we can move forward, right? So one branch, one effective team working on the same branch and content and engine. So next week we deliver Unreal Engine 5. With that in place, we can finally make more frequent patches, including hot fixes if we need to. And the plan is to have more regular patches, so most likely we will have one small focused patch, and then maybe a little bit larger patch, and then small again, and cycle like that. Something similar we did during beta phases. We've gone through a few different cycles, as you've seen. I think we had quite a record phase during beta phase. We just threw out tons of content and features, but obviously during beta we didn't have the same requirement on polish state. So obviously we need to make sure we don't just throw out huge, big, many system at the same time. We want to make sure that we have enough time to do some PTR rounds and then go live with that on the live server. Agree that Unreal 5 should have been a priority, but my god, you guys need to drop some content this year. We agree, you know. So, but Unreal 5 comes with a few important things, not only fancy looking lights, right? It comes with very important core upgrades, improvements for the future, much better foundation, much better capacity in many ways, and of course we are future proof for many years to come when it comes to having one of the best looking MMO on the market. But with that we also have a huge list of bug fixing and polishing, a lot of TC fixing as I mentioned, and also very important system that helps especially new players that are quite lost when I arrive to Milan, but also content for veterans to play around with, obviously. Please. The task systems. And we got a lot of surprisingly positive feedback from a lot of veterans when it comes to the task system. So it's not only there for new players, but obviously important part to get them going a little bit, because that's I've been fully missing. Are you planning to expand your studio when subs go live, or how are you deciding when to expand the team? So yeah, the plan is, as we mentioned before, we obviously aim to slowly grow over time in a hopefully controlled manner. We're gonna pinpoint important marketing influencers, awareness for the game. So obviously the goal is to have a steady growth, hopefully a steady growth of subscribers, active players, and along with more resources, which is obviously a huge game changer for us and for all of us, right? The game will change for the better the more resources we are able to get. So absolutely we plan to reinvest any profits that are possible will be put back to the development of the game. We are looking to expand in various areas in the studio.
I got my wolf. That's very good. Got good experience taming him too.
So that was about that one, I guess. 3-month dev cycle with a content patch that provides at least 2 months of content is fine, and smaller patch in between for quality of life, bug fix, etc. Yeah. We tried a few different phases over the past 2 years, and I think we have a pretty decent understanding the experience within the team, how much and where we can focus together as a team, and how we put that puzzle together depending on what content we are working on. And we see a lot of beneficial when we dedicate the entire team on very few areas, so we can work as a team together and really make the best out of it, rather than having it too split up in many different small teams. And also, since it's so important to deliver stable, polished content moving forward, especially now when subscription is going to be enabled as well. And yeah, I mean, again, it's very important that we have regular updates, improvement quality of life, along with carefully picked content and features, so we know that there's always an interesting for players to join in the game. Someone that taking a break can come back months later and see interesting new systems, from everything from combat to non-combat, that just adds more sand to the game, makes more players interested of the game. There will be something for everyone over time, more or less, and that will expand also over time. It's a true sandbox game. That is the key word for Mortal Online, right? And where, Henrik, I know you made a good move with Unreal 5, just we really need some fun stuff this year. My guild's struggling with this a lot, and I'm sure a lot others are. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're gonna find those golden gems on the roadmap that I'm gonna present shortly.
Getting a lot of XP.
And I think those will be creating the upcoming very exciting patches. And obviously we're getting close to Christmas, right? And we always have a little bit Christmas holidays around there, so we need to be careful not overdo those things. But we are planning to have a little Christmas patch. That's a nice little tradition we have every Christmas for in Mortal Online. I'm sure many of you guys have experienced some of those seasons already. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, excuse. Sometimes it becomes a little bit of a Q&A early on, but I am waiting on a picture I'm gonna put on here with some of the information. That's why I'm doing some question answers while we wait. That's why I was a little bit delayed on today's stream as well. The support pack is going in a steady rate. Yes, we are very happy to see the support within the player base, and like I said, every small step like that makes an impact directly. That's what's very exciting for us. We are a small independent company. We don't have huge expenses compared to the giants. We are not hundreds of developers. I mean, our salaries doesn't really compete with the giants either, because we have to do what's possible, right? Whatever we can cover, we cover, right? We try to make this happen, and we know that we only have this shot to make this as good as possible. And if we get the support by the players, we are able to finally grow and continue this journey and just add
I
more
love
and
this
more
fucking
time.
game. One of the things about it is that I don't find myself complaining a lot, because it all makes sense. All of it makes sense. Almost everything he does.
Frog the Pirate with the subscription.
Almost none of it's like
Thank you very
other
much.
complaints.
Appreciate it.
Like almost none of its other complaints like that I normally have with other games. This guy, my complaint was the frame rate. It was always been the frame rate. I was like, this engine is not that good.
Is any content already planned after the 5 update, or are you waiting complete on the community decision? So obviously there's a few things we know: quality of life fixes, polish, that is ongoing as they arise, get reported. So we always have some dedicated time for polish, right? Going through those reports from the players, reproduce them, recreate those cases, confirm them, and then put them to the right developers to handle them. There's always a lot of that going on in the background, and over time, obviously, it goes down, right? The more of those we have fixed, the less of those get reported. But there's also a good list of quality of life that is also quite a decent list that may not be critical but very appreciated for all players, right? So we're looking at those things as well every now and then to see where we can put some of those in. For instance, the brokers system, right? Better filter and options there
43
is something a lot of
taming.
people looking forward
Hopefully
to. So
this is right around when it gets
those are some
easier.
things. The chat window system, there's quite a few things there we can improve as well.
Yep,
And
the,
give us
sh-
filter
the,
and
sh- the
options.
shitty Windows
So
system.
there's a
Yep.
decent list of quality of life that we know we want sooner or later.
Yeah, Windows is a
But we
big
also
part
know
of
how
this.
important it is
Yep.
with content and feature now when we've been still for so many months. People
Windows
are
is the biggest part
hungry
of it. Windows is
for
often the cause of all these
new
shitty
stuff,
problems.
right? And that's part of these types of game, right? As long as we have a steady progression, people are steadily playing, right?
I want this wolf, and I will sit here
Okay,
and
let's
tame
see,
for goddamn 40 minutes if I have to. I don't care. Yep. Sooner or later, you'll let me.
a moment, guys.
Let me tame. Let me tame. Ooh, this might be it. He's acting different. Nope, this wasn't it. I killed him! I can't believe I killed him. Oh my god. Oh, I
But
mean,
yeah,
the taming
again,
was
it's,
just going on forever, and I really
varies
wanted
a
a
lot,
break.
right? Depending on
Whatever. Maybe a
we're
dog,
talking
maybe a
to
wolf
here.
will spawn here
what
and
kind of
attack
content,
me.
what kind of fixes,
I
what kind
don't
of
know.
quality of life. So it's important that we try to look at what is the biggest bang for the buck, pretty much, right? Just stop consulting on the seed with their option. It looks bad. What do you mean? We're not consulting with Odin Seed. It was a long time I even met them in game. I saw some streams yesterday, but that's it pretty much. There's interact with the system the devs give them. When those systems drastically change, like the new red system, the devs or reset option, otherwise we're asking players to play for future. I mean, we always talked about consequences, red players murdering, griefing, the nations and all that, and it's always been the same stance on that. Mortal Online is not a Rust game without consequences where you can go murder and grief or kill anyone at any time. I mean, you can, right? But there are consequences. It is a persistent MMORPG also, not only a quick session survival in and out game. And I think we have been pushing on that very hard in every stream and every announcement since Mortal Online got announced many years ago. And we try to explain and write about all the future content, including future content that may be far away, but mentioned that those are plans. We have visions, you know. So that's also part of the long journey, right? Yeah, we are already adding guard towers and patrolling guards around the nations and the starting cities. Any final decision on account card transfers? No, so the Diva system is one of the points here, right? And that is first off supporting additional character slot on one account that comes with a few technical quirks that we have to go through. The second question that comes after that from a lot of players is obviously, would it be possible to merge an account? And that is another secondary technical component that needs to be addressed. We need to look at one thing at a time, right? Division, Lindis. Division. believe in you, Henrik. Get them guards up, like you said, 4 and 5, and some stability, and we are good to go. He's amazing, man. Roadmap. As far as content, I feel like spiritists need more spells. Yeah, so as you know, we have a final group for elementalism, the entities, which is a pretty cool thing for elementalists. And then finally that very large school that went a little bit too on the top is finished. We plan to do a little revisiting on some of the older schools, and then, only then after, we are looking to continue, depending on some of the feedback obviously, in what prioritized order other schools should be in. There are about 9 camps coming with Unreal 5 patch as well. So we looked at the world map Milan from top to bottom, where there are fewer, and we try to spread some of those in those more empty areas. So yes, about 9 so far. What about long-term look like for lawless wilderness zones? Will there be real reason for players to venture in these areas? So obviously, depending on what we're looking at here, if we're looking at wilderness PvP oriented content, which you will see some of those also on this list that we're going to talk about, we know obviously that we need content in those areas as well for those that are here for combat wars. There's many different areas that promote that kind of conflicts, hotspots with different features, and some of them are very naturally placed in wilderness areas, so anyone that want to compete with that can go to those areas, and obviously will most likely have conflicts with other like-minded groups, right? So yeah, there's a lot on the map when it comes to that kind of content as well, and like I said, we will have some of those topics to go through on the roadmap. Shit, I'm freezing, guys. It's like 20... No, it's like 18 degrees in this room. Even I have a thick sweater. It's so cold. My feet and hands are like ice bits. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Okay, let's see. It looks like I have the topics, guys. I'm gonna download them correctly. What the hell did I click?
So I guess I could do the other half of the
go
quest now. I guess it would be Utsusemi Ichi scroll.
One moment here. Newies, thank for the prime. Appreciate it. I'm most interested in the roadmap. Yes, we will cover it very soon. Give me a little moment. I'm waiting some of my artists that are putting it together so I can display it in a proper way. That's what I'm waiting right now. Dragon in a jungle?
Oh, I can just get... I didn't know it was that easy. Shit, okay. Well, okay, so... Let's go do that. We'll go get zinc ore.
Hope thievery never happens. Did you try...
And they
did you
say I
see thievery in
need,
Mortal 1?
for level
Or some-
4,
It's a pretty
I
cool
need
feature, but it
109
has some
zinc
flaws
ore.
in Mortal 1 that we are correcting in
Right
Mortal 2.
now,
think
I
will make it
have 20
more
slots
enjoyable
free.
and more balanced. Oh my god, we
So-
got Razmilknakov with the Prime 12 month. Thank you very much. 12 month. Um, got another one, eh? Comment man, thank you very much. 8 month. You're killing it. Killing it.
Yeah.
Desert troll? I'm not sure.
I don't
What type of
totally
trolls we
know.
will see over time.
I guess I have to do this. There's not really
Mortal
any
1 had
option.
a balance
It
issue, I
sucks,
agree,
too.
which was there wasn't really consequences to a berserker theft death repeat, right? And that is the balance thing we are addressing in Mortal 2.
So this is 40, 80, 120. If I do 3 trips, yep, if I do exactly 3 trips, I'll have exactly the rep I need. And that sucks, but I mean, like, what else can I do? Also, I might get stuck waiting for the fucking, for the
thorax,
goldsmithing.
eh?
No, it's a good
The
day, I think. Fire Day is when it's closed. So
Tagmaton
we'll just go do
invasion.
that.
Is that what you're telling me?
This is a lot faster than I remember it being, actually. This is the easiest way. I forgot, but Bastock actually has a fast way to do this. And I always did the cornets, I think. Cornets are a way to do it, right? Yeah, Nana's Miko is either cornets or Yuguro necklaces. Or you can do it like this, and you can buy zinc ore as much as you need. So... depending on how much this is. 8 to 23. I have to wait for the turn of the hour. Okay, I haven't seen a wolf spawn yet, but let's make sure that this wolf is doing okay. He is hungry, so we will feed him. I like the wolf. I think I want to try and level the wolf, and then, well, I want 2 of them, and it's annoying. Like, it's annoying that I can't get another wolf around here. It sucks. What the hell?
Sorry, guys.
What are you doing to my wolf?
I have a lot of different
Motherfucker.
things going on here. I'm distracted.
Go wolf.
Dumbarry, exactly. I'm telling the artist, please send over my roadmap picture so we can start going through it.
Go wolf. Go wolf.
Fiddling around with it, so any moment now.
Get him.
Optional payment method before 28th of November, so more people be able to buy supporter pack. So we've been struggling a lot with our payment providers to fill in so many different things to get covered of all those areas. As late as today, they told me yesterday that they would have all the different sections approved by today. And instead of sending us it's approved, they said sorry, we have a few more lists you need to fill out. And we did that today, and I'm sure I got a response on that. No, I haven't. But hopefully we will have a quick response tomorrow, and hopefully we can have that up and running and supporting all the different options we have. We've really been on them on a daily basis, because obviously we're running out of time, right, for the 28th.
2044.
Yeah, the distraction is partly related with the roadmap. We need to get it correctly right so we can get the proper up on the stream here.
2233.
An update on the new armor that were shown a few months ago. Do you mean the pet armor? If so, yeah, we have a few packs of pet armor finished. We are finalizing the horse armor now as the last piece, and then we have a pack available for us to implement in any of the upcoming patches. There's one important component that we are missing, and that is a balance factor tied to armor. Obviously, having heavy armor should also mean that it comes at the cost for the pet, right? Like speed effects and so on. Yes, we are working on a tax system and UI updates. So the main problem here is the UI. UI doesn't display the things correctly, and that causes a lot of confusion and issues, and we are working on that now. Still wondering if you believe that starting off as the best option for a returning red player. No, I mean, you have multiple ways of start working for nation, right? And over time have those decays. A lot of people enjoy being a red player, but still playing around cities, having access to cities, but at the risk, right? That is the main difference if you go to a city, right? Roadmap in Notepad, please, eh? Mad King, fire arrows should damage shields, Dura Henrik. Yeah, kinda makes sense. I agree. Thank you for the 6 month. Appreciate it. Lifetime packs for sale. I'm not sure yet. We are getting the final stuff required on all the entire setup for the payment subscription and all that, the different packs. And with that in place, it shouldn't be too much problem for us to expand on that slightly. But we need to set up the first requirement first of all before we can relax and have time for the next step, right? No, we won't have those armors along with the Unreal 5 update. Like I said, we're missing one
I am getting
technical component,
120
the balance
FPS.
system, and it's quite important balance. We can't have them full optimal speed and ability to fight without any effect if they have very heavy armor, right? They become more tanky, then they also need to get, you know, the pro cons
600.
balance wise, right?
What's a
So
stack?
you need to be careful to not just
What can I
rush
get a
it out
stack
there
for?
without this important balance factor.
600 is insane.
I'm gonna open the roadmap shortly, J-Man. I'm waiting on 3 of my devs that are doing some various things connected to that, but I will get it in a moment.
Yeah,
so
if
bear with me,
Zincor is
please.
less than 2400, I can do. Or yeah, like if it's less than 2400, I can do it, but I don't know. I doubt it will be.
Any thoughts on adding a friendly or neutral category like alliances with different colors? Add how? Do you mean momentum online? What do you mean adding?
Materials of goldsmithing for Zincor.
Write it on toilet paper.
28.
Just got you anything interesting?
It's a
So
bit
we got a
more
little
expensive than I
recap of our
thought.
current status. You know, next week we are finally hitting Unreal 5, a huge important milestone and a huge burden off our shoulders.
So I'm doing
because we can
math
finally
here.
go back to more effective work as a team on one branch, one engine, one technology, and also start.
This will
getting
be
to the
36K,
juicy content-wise, that
which
we
is
are
all my money.
dying to
like
get
all my
now, since
money.
we've been still for such a long
Let's
time.
look at what my sales are right now.
Live
That's
states.
it. That's all I have. Okay. Those are the only 2 things I've got, huh? Yeah, that's it, huh? Yeah, I have no sales. Damn it.
And we're gonna very shortly go through our coming, what we call community roadmap discussion, right? We're gonna go through the different options, and then we're gonna also post
I've got
them on the
nothing
forums
to sell,
for
and
everyone
that's
to see
not
over
good. I
time.
broke the bank today.
Gonna
I
make
blew
sure we have them
130K in a
described.
day or whatever it
And
was.
the next step after that is to allow you all to
Shit, I
push your
need
votes
money.
using your
Well,
account section on our website, so they are quite restricted on how you can vote, right?
I guess I will have to sling tellies. Which I can do fairly quickly. Enough to do this anyways. I mean, yeah, it's annoying.
A spell should make the building catch fire and burn down. So you just shoot one fireball on the house and then the house burn down, Verloof. Is that what you mean?
Go see if there's loot in the D box. I don't think
Sounds
there will
quite
be.
severe to me. Battering rams when? So that is, if we see a big indication that we need more siege mechanics for upcoming TC components. There's a few things when it comes to TC, like specific, you will see it in roadmap, specific TC services. And that could be anything from we want a new siege mechanic weapon, or a new
No more money, and I
shop
don't
system
know.
like, or
I don't
service,
know
or
what I'll do.
NPC service or function in any way or form. There are multiple options there.
I'll
again,
have
then-
to
then we can
level
see the interest
BST in a
how many
place
players
where it'll make me
this and that.
money.
in early rather than late and such like
Hey.
that.
Sorry. Sorry, I was just trying to think. I've got to go somewhere where it'll make me some money. See, I guess, I don't know. 36K for Utsu Semi is actually really pretty fucking cheap. And I'll just go sling tellies is what I'll do. And I'll just dedicate for a little while and I'll sling tellies. It's fine. I'll write the macros and I'll sling the tellies. It's good. Okay, change shops to white mage, black mage, white mage. See all sides. he got his. Okay. I've got competition. Wait, you did not change. You are not changing jobs. You are so annoying. And you no, you did the wrong thing. Why? Why can't you change to white mage? They're fucking annoying though. Yeah, I'll sing tellies. It works. It works totally fine. I'll have to come back here and
Tashinki, indeed.
I'll try to
indeed.
make like 25k or something on a Sunday afternoon.
Any comments on all of the lighting issues players seems to have in Unreal 5? Do I have a specific screenshot? I have looked a little bit here and there. So I want to know what you are referring to with lighting issue with Unreal 5. If it's something that are broken or what we're talking about here. I haven't heard a lot that there's a specific lighting issue, so I need to know what we're talking about. Then MC red is a stupid idea. How many MCs would you have to be red, and what number? How many innocents should you be able to slay before you are a murderer?
1.
Let me jump down a little bit here. What can we vote on? You will see in a moment. These brokers. There's no account option in the site. Yes, there are. If you click on, for instance, buying the support pack, it tells you to log into your account, right? And when you have logged into your account there, you are in the account section, and that would give you information like if you have a support pack, if you bought the game, your subscription information will be here, infractions may be there. And the voting option will be put there. Where are we on crossbows? It's on the list, you will see. Just a moment. They will send it to me in a minute. We're almost there, guys. 10 is still very generous. Not 10 MC is perfect. Lol. MC red 5. 1, 42. 1, I mean, that's a little bit severe, right? 5, 150. Holy shit, you're gonna kill an entire guild. Lol, 10 is fine. 10. It sounds like a reasonable number. Why did someone say it was stupid when it seems like that's a good number that many agree on? How stupid. Super excited for Lumens. Sorry. Super excited for Lumens and the nights. I'm getting 100 plus frames on cinematic, 4K plus DLSS. Is the Unreal 5 build coming with DLSS 3.5? Yes, we are on 3.5 right now. We're looking to add a frame generation if whenever we have the time and opportunity. We've been looking into a little bit. I'm not sure exactly where we stand with FSR yet. We have TSR, which is Epic's own solution to upscaling, very similar to DLSS. The good thing with TSR is it works on any graphic card. DLSS is for NVIDIA cards, right? And FSR is eventually for AMD cards only, equivalent to DLSS. They're doing the same thing in general, but a little bit differently, and different effectiveness, and some how they handle the frames is a little bit different. So you may have different results, and some may enjoy prefer the TSR solutions over DLSS, and vice versa, depending on your preferences of looks and feel, even though they are not very, very different. But yeah, I've been running on DLSS, balanced, looks very good, and runs smooth. It gives you a nice boost, especially if you play on high resolution monitors. And I tried it on 4K, a 4K monitor, and it's super smooth using DLSS. When is the world hit and body going to start to play a factor? So we decided that Milan is in the normal temperature range, to not go to any extremes, and it seems like a lot of people find that as a good middle ground. And whenever you go to Sarka or the North Belt, the extremes to hot regions or very cold regions, that's when you see these temperatures go to very severe levels, when it start to affect you severely again, and your different gear etc. will have an important factor playing in those areas, while Milan is in the mid-range that won't really heavily affect you in a negative way. Alright, let's see. I think we got the files I've been looking for, guys. Just gonna confirm.
Can't find any more wolves. It's annoying.
Let's see. What the hell happens? Okay. Yeah, one moment, I'm getting them now. It's quite the lists, that's why it takes a little time for me to put them up here. Alright. Okay, let's proceed then. So let's move over to this little one, and I'm just gonna where the hell am I? Okay, here it is. Let's see where I was number one. Right. Let's start with our community roadmap discussion, right? So here we are starting with a few main features. Some very large. We're gonna also have the indication when we post this on the forums that some of them are very huge project while some of them are smaller. So the puzzle here is to, if we have a high demand on some of the large features, obviously the work needs to start as early as possible, but it doesn't
Incoming
mean that
emote.
it may be possible to deliver them in the first upcoming roadmap, even though we have picked it as a highest demand on it. So that is our next part, to kind of show estimated time frame in terms of this is a very huge project, which means it will be a few weeks or month back, which means it may be on roadmap number 2 and roadmap number 3. It depends on the different features, right? But here are some of the main features that will be presentable as votables. We have the wagon system, which is a pretty cool system, quite self-explanatory. You will be able to have some different types of wagons where you connect your animals to, and you will be able to transport very heavy goods, and there will be different types for effective to transport just heavy goods, like supply runs, siege machinery, equipments or whatever, or just have as a little wagon for you and your friends, and your, you know that wagon in the gladiator arena where you can actually run around on them and do combat in various forms, but as a less agile version compared to just being one person on a mount, right? The veteran system is quite important system, we say, for many in the game, because a lot of people can finish their character quite quickly, especially a fighter, and then you have your clades that you work towards. This is just one of the section, guys, so bear with me. We're gonna go through all slides. But what happens here is after the clade have been maxed, you unlock a new progression type for your character, and that allows you to get additional experience that unlocks different, give you more experience that you can distribute either on action or crafting areas. They have a different cost depending on where you distribute them. And some of these levels also may give you some bonuses to your stat pool and so on. So, and we're talking about, I don't know if there's going to be a cap on 1,000 levels or something, but the first steps are where your character gets mostly affected. So it's not like you have to play the game for 1 year to be competitive, right? That's something we're never gonna approach in that.
It's like a
area.
week. It's like a week of all day.
Can,
you know,
expand
maybe
your
like
character
2 months if
additionally,
you play once a week.
especially early on, which means you can learn more skill points, distribute in different ways, and build your character even further and more with more depth. And then eventually those levels mostly give you more fluffy things like cool titles and different types of rewards without being tied to your character when it comes to combat and PvP, right? So eventually you can be like Jake, have your bragging rights. I'm level 455. I'm the biggest level in the world. I'm the badass player, and there's an infinite progression on that level. You see what I mean? So it's a system that allows you to Jake, system that allows you to further push your small progression to cool progression on your character. You see what I mean, right? That's the basic of it. Classic Jake. So the veteran system is a cool thing, and there's also a secret, a big secret to your current clade, and you have no clue. But when you see it, when you look at the clade window, you're gonna see, holy shit, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know that was a thing. But that's something we wanna do as well. Gonna make sense when you see what that is. It's a little bit of a secret, but it's already in the clay window. If you look at the clay window, there may be a clue, right? So that is in short the veteran system. The third one, we don't have a proper name yet. Transforms? What transforms? I'm not talking about transforms here now. Okay, the third one, Dimension Run. Good old name I used for 10 years ago. Maybe we need a proper name, right? But what this is, you recognize it in another game today already, and it seems to be a popular game. So if I I'm just gonna explain it short, right? So Dimension Run, it allows you as a city owner to construct a certain building that opens up a gate to another dimension. There are certain rules tied to this and how you do it, but someone else in the world can also trigger a gate. It's dark and dark about Mortal, kinda. So that means you have a certain amount of sets or amount of players that you can bring, and it needs to be equal side. One other thing in a game like this, there can be dynamic fights happening, but quite often they're quite unfair, right? You know what I mean. If you see enemies of 5 people, it's safer if we are 6, right? It's a classic thing. But in this case, you have to sign up with the terms, right? You go to this dimension, and that is a very specific cool dungeon with specific things, treasure traps, mobs, and obviously in the middle you will face down the other side's group. There will be only one side survivor that can bring out the loot. You see what I mean?
Getting there.
That's
Getting
our
there.
good old Dimension Run. It's a cool system. It allows you to you know, have those fair-sided setup fights for adventure and danger. Game within a game, kinda. You know, we have many dimensions in Modern Line, and this is where we tap into one of those dimensions in a certain cool way. It was a very old design we had in the game, but we weren't sure it's gonna be popular or if the player wanted it. And then bam, 10 years later came Dark and Darker, and a lot of people seem to enjoy that game. So yeah, there are some similarities. So that is that system. So it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, how does how interested are our players in our different features we are presenting here. Number 4, the Diva system. So the Diva system is where two kind of soul siblings are connected to each other in a certain way, and it allows you to have another character on your account. We talked about this many times. You have been asking for it for a few, I don't know, quite a long time now, right? It requires some specific updates and changes for us for it to work and fit, but it's on the list to see how the players are looking at that feature as well. The 4th one is Thievery, also quite self-explanatory. We had a Thievery in the first game. The big change we're gonna do here, that is to balance it in a better way, more risk reward, which means you can't run around as a naked thief and steal things. You need somewhere to put the stolen goods, like clothing, gear. You also need some tools to be efficient at stealing. So you actually have an investment before you steal, which means you can't just go steal, die, rest, repeat, because you're gonna lose value by doing that. So that will hopefully put the thievery more in balance order. They have to think twice before they do a theft, right? So that's in general one of the big thing that is was missing in Thievery that we're gonna balance this time around. And along with Thievery also obviously comes lock picking, things like that, which is a cool thing to explore the world in different forms, where you may need a thief in your group to access into all the different loots that will be available. So there's quite a few things that obviously tie with Thievery. Arena with ladder ranking system. So the arena system can be quite insane, but we're gonna start with one kind of pack, you know, the baseline, the back end, the system for it, how we separate the performance loading for the arena, so you have no competitive network when signing up for this. And we're gonna have a back-end system that tracks the outcome, rewards, ranking, and, you know, the gladiator of the month. That could be titles and rewards and capes and things to wear when you order that, and you have to defend it every week or month depending on what it is. You can sign up for weekly or monthly tournaments, and you have a ranking system, and you can also do them
Incoming tell.
you know, use them individually. So the arena system can be
Incoming
quite
emote.
wide, and there's a lot of things, and we can keep adding to it. Like if you want to do a team versus team fight and team versus mobs, and see how far you can go before you all die to compete with AI. So there's a lot of cool things we can expand on it, but obviously we want to start with the most important component that a lot of people would be interested in. Jousting absolutely could be one, but like I said, we need to pinpoint what part do we start out with. If the arena system is something a lot of people are looking for.
Incoming tell.
Mounted ranking, absolutely, that's one. But as you can see, there's a lot of cool options we can add to the arena system, and therefore it can become a very huge project. So we need to break it down, right? Starting with the back end, a robust tracking ranking system, and then we go on from there, right? And then we have farming, also quite self-explanatory.
Incoming party invite.
We want to make it more sophisticated than it was in the first game. We actually have more manual play role when you're maintaining your crops and taking care of those seeds and making plants, so you can do more alchemy or components for the different refining after that. So a cool nifty little system, and we want to put a little bit more manual work on the player, so it's interesting and a little bit more engaging. But yeah, it allows you to. There are seeds, right? And with these seeds you can refine and plant and grow your own stuff. Breeding, a little bit similar, but obviously instead of plants we are talking about creatures, mounts and so on. Crossbreed them, refine them, make them a little bit stronger. It's important that we're going to rebalance these times so it doesn't become one horse to rule them all, which was the case in Mortal 1. That kind of wrecked the balance a little bit. We want to make sure that tamers is always a desired profession. We will always need fresh tamers, but there's also room for breeding where you can refine your creatures or mounts. We also want to have those abilities where the appearance changes and you can see the differences, so that makes it the system becomes a little bit larger also time wise. Die system, a very cool system that I think everyone will enjoy. We had a very cool die system in the first game, but we were missing some very important quality of life components. You could do insane refinement to get very unique different colors. There was millions of combinations for colors, everything from animals, fishing, everything, right, can extract colors in different forms, and you can refine them and make them stronger and more effective, cool looking, right? And then you put them in a dye tube to produce that color type, and then you can dye all cloth, soft tissues, those type of things, and you can have a guild color, and you can run as a group and in fashion.
God damn it! You won't change
It's a
fucking
very
classes,
cool system,
and it's
and
driving
it
me
allows
crazy.
you to do very unique, cool touches of colors for you and your guild, or just sell and be a dye tube seller, whatever you want, right? So a cool system that gives more freedom to design your gear, pretty much. Guild logo emblem system, a little bit similar, but we're talking about the symbols, right? Design your logos for your guild, put it on your banners, put it on your city, and again, have your own unique logo for your guild, which is a cool thing also that a lot of groups want. And then of course we have boats. That is one of the biggest system because it requires wagons first of all, so kind of makes sense that wagons is goes before boats, because there are components in the wagon system that is required to even make those parts in the boat system. And then we have the water system, the crafting part of how you craft the ships, and of course for boats to make sense, we have to have water content, like stuff out in sea. We want combat, pirating by ships as well, so you can put siege machineries on them. So I would say that is the biggest feature so far that will take a lot of time to produce, because we need all these different parts. So yeah, those are some of the main features that will be available for you to tap into. We're gonna put this on the forums with descriptions under them as well, and also whoever is missing this will be able to read up on that.
I have to go get my cutscene.
Right, let me proceed to the next one. We have combat areas. Obviously we have the adrenaline weapon ability system, which is quite a large one because it requires a lot of very sensitive experimenting and testing. So we are sure that this fits the game, it offers player skills, it has depth, and it doesn't just cater for dumb Zerg tactics. Those are important components along with that feature. So the plan with this is to tie an adrenaline system that allows you to utilize special moves from your different weapons. An example, with axes you will be able to do a crushing blow, a cleave blow, and a cleave blow means you may be hitting 2 or 3 targets in one strike with less damage each hit. A blade may have a bleeding cut. If you manage to perform that correctly, you will make your enemies bleed for a moment if they don't stop the wound very quickly. There will be a shield breaker with hammers that allows you to make a lot of damage to shields and kind of, you know, put them off for utilizing the shield for a moment. So we plan to have a few different abilities per weapon group, and since we have quite a few, you can understand very careful balancing and testing is required to make sure they all work, it's balanced and makes sense. So I would say that this is a very cool and exciting feature, but it requires time, right? We need to do this correctly. We can't just throw these moves in and you know, they may interfere with combat balance very severely. So so that's why obviously it's gonna be needing a lot of PTR, right? But that is what that entails. Game input, improvement, action queuing. So this is where we had this during the beta, and it was a little bit back and forth when we were testing a lot of things, combat beta. But it feels like people are missing it that were part of that, where you could actually queue up an action timed after the first one, which makes it much more fluid and responsive when you're fighting. So veterans feels it makes sense, it feels better, and noobs also get into the combat without feeling horrible initially because they don't know what they're doing. So it just helps the overall feeling of combat.
Damn it, I didn't expect to
have to
do
still,
5-1, but now I'm doing it.
You know, obviously hit that.
It's gonna keep me up really late, but that's okay.
Queue up something and it auto-fights for you. That it's just that you can time them in a nice way and do nice flowy attacks. And that could lead to some room for also giving small bonuses if those are timed in a proper manner. Again, needs a lot of testing and you know, making sure that it's a nice addition.
Get guard.
Yeah, archery will also utilize that, obviously. Sharp blink allows counter feints. You know, we've talked about this as well. There's a few components. I would say that in this case we have a combat polish focused phase where there's a few components that goes into this, but it is separate
do I need
from
crystals?
the adrenaline weapon abilities.
I think I
because
probably
they're
do.
quite separated. And
Like I'll
also
grab a stack of
quite
water
complex.
crystals. That'll probably be enough.
But this means you can charge up power when you have the blink. You can actually feint and do your attacks and still have that power. So you can actually engage without always waiting for a parry counter. Do you see what I mean? So you have a little bit more options on the offensive side rather than waiting for a parry counter. Again, just to give a little bit of room of options there. Kicks are planned for including a weapon ability as well, to experiment and test if that is something that could work, fits, balanced. Stamina gain on successful parry is one of those quite small also that we plan to have enough combat focus patch. So if we
Fuck,
look
I have
at
to get
combat, there's a
sheep.
few
I have
things
to I have to buy. I have
animation-wise,
to grab my sheep.
fluid-wise, and charge blink and stamina gain accessory parry fits in that package, right? Looking to re-enable
That's okay. I can do it
decapitations,
quick. I can do it.
dismembering, those cool things that just add and refine the blood splatter system a little bit. So it just feels more awesome when you're on the battlefield, and when you're fighting outnumbered, you can do these good, successful parries and get a stamina bonus back and utilize that when you're outnumbered. Hopefully some of those things just adding to the skill ceiling and to the experience and feeling of the combat. It just makes it more awesome, right? So and those later one are actually smaller projects. I would say the adrenaline here is much larger than the rest here. And I would say that we probably had them in two groups. One of the group is the adrenaline special ability move, which is a large system, and the other one is just combat polish improvement, which are the rest of the points, including the ones I said. We want to re-enable the decapitation, the blood splatter system, and those things that simply exploded in Unreal 4. Hopefully they're not exploding on Unreal 5. So just that's something is win-win for everyone. Everyone that
Wait,
loves
I can.
combat, from noobs to veterans, will obviously enjoy.
Wait, what happened
kind of
here? I'm a
refinement,
white
right?
mage thief. What the fuck?
So that is the combat part. And yeah, maybe it does make sense to start with the combat focus improvements before the abilities. So maybe that's already, deciding the order of those things. So yeah, we will refine this on the forums when you get the information posted there as well. All right, let's go to the next one. So here we have a few RP social components. Tavern board games, finally, a lot of people have been asking for this one for a very long time. We want to be able to meet in a Tinrem or whatever city, go to the tavern, the local tavern, sit down at the chairs or table and play some blackjack or Texas Hold'em, poker together, tournaments, non-tournaments, and just be able to earn money by playing poker with each others or lose money, right? I can't wait for this one personally because I'm gonna be in there. You're gonna see me in tavern and I'm gonna take your money playing poker. So I hope to see you there. It's gonna be a nice, chilled socializing opportunity away from all stress and chaotic things, right? So I'm very much looking forward to those components finally going into the game. I'm gonna take your money, Nasser. I will try. I've been playing a lot of Texas Hold'em, so it's up to show the skills, right? Up to show those skills. Theory. Did you miss the beginning of this? The theory have already been. We already gone through theory. FOIP. So FOIP is this cool little system where you can use your webcam or any camera pretty much, where it recognizes your facial motions and transfer them in a compressed, reduced version on your character. But you can pretty much make your facial expressions on your character and talk, and you will see that happens on the character. Pretty cool. I showed a little bit of that in the early state in a stream very long time ago when I was a Thursar down here instead of my face, and you saw my expression and movements one-to-one on a character, in-game character, and it was really cool, and it's quite enjoyable and fun because imagine all those expressions you can do. It's just awesome. It just adds to that first-person realism, unique encounter. So we can probably offer both for in-game and for streamers if that's an interest. So that is that feature, and then of course we have VR support that can become
I
from
fucked up. Oops.
quite the project to
okay.
an insane project, depending on how far we're pushing it when it comes to control schedules, using controllers and so on. So obviously that would be in steps.
I caught it fast.
It goes a little bit hand in hand, or
It's
at
alright.
least a nice support for instance, for the tavern board games, imagine sitting down at the tavern and put on your VR set, if you have one, and just play poker and socialize and VoIPing. It's really cool, right? It just goes to insane new depth that haven't been seen in a MMO ever. And
Rust did it.
This will be a thing sooner or later, depending on interest, right? So cool. Let's proceed, guys. We have more on the list. Player gear. So here obviously we have new weapons. If we want to add new head types, handle types of any types that will be added into the crafting, and you will have new kind of stuff to play around with and fight with, right? We want to add those big weapons for the Thursars, you know, just expanding on that if that's something of interest. We have crossbows, a cool system that gives you the state of using some of the different crossbows we're gonna implement from smaller to larger, that obviously have their own loading, reloading functions, and you know, a strong shot or quick reloader repeater. So there will be a few different options here, but yeah, you understand what it's quite self-explanatory. Throwing weapons. When we looked at this list, throwing weapons is actually very high bang for the buck. We can very easily utilize a new state where you can throw weapons, and this can be anything from throwing axes to daggers to morning stars or potions with different effects. So it's a cool system that gives anyone on the field another depth of component that utilize some range, right, to your style. New armor set, similar as new weapons. If we are looking, we want to add a new medium, light or heavy armor sets from any of the clades. This is the one. Dual wielding weapons is very complex feature that we are unsure yet how it will even work, because we tried it in one way in Mortal 1, it didn't turn out as we were hoping for, so it just became useful for special abilities. So
Oh
this time
shit,
we
I went to
wanna
the wrong one. Oops.
experimenting with it, rebuild completely, and see if we can make some proper use of dual wielding. So this will be needing a lot of experimenting and designing. So it's a complicated one because we are not sure yet what we can do with our game when it comes to dual wielding. Yeah, obviously may be more beneficial for the queuing system, so some of them goes a little bit hand in hand. The offhand torch, some of them unlocks abilities for some of them, like offhand torch allows you to do certain things obviously with your offhand, holding that torch, so you're not the torch barrier only in the guild. When you go to a dungeon, you can actually have a weapon in your other hand, so a little bit better utility. So that is that one. Also not too terrible for us to do. We will line this in terms of this is a quick one, which means it will be very close on the roadmap if we pick those, and these ones may be complicated long ones that will not be early on in the roadmap, so even in the next roadmap and so on. And we have more mountable creatures. You know, we want to see if there's, when it's time to add more mounts. We have the light gators, you know, and we have multiple mountable options on the different creatures we already have in the world. So, you know, that's one of those, if you need an indication of that. Right, let's proceed, guys, before I'm losing my voice. Which one was this? Okay. And then we have territory control specified. We have a relic system, which means we will design and implement X amount, starting with a few ones. I don't know how many we start with, but a nice pack of different types of relics. And they will have different types of powers. You will see a star falling from the sky. There will be a specific sound, and you will see the trail and glow from out of space falling down to Milan Earth. and everyone see it across the world. So that means you can go there if you want to, and when it's just fallen from the sky, it's gonna be glowing hot, so you can't touch it. When you are there, obviously that means anyone may come there and take a look what the hell's going on. And when it cools down, anyone can pick it up, and when you pick it up, you are holding this very specific relic. You're gonna see that you're carrying it, and this relic have magical powers, and it depends on what type of item it is. But normally this is an item you want to bring to your city and place it in a relic building. That's how you utilize the powers from it. When it's in your building, your possession, your guild benefit from these powers. And obviously it can be a small village and put it in your relic as well. There will be many different types. Some that some people may not care as much of them. Some people may want to go to war at any cost to get them. And you can't bank them, and you can't log out with them. It may be a sword in one case, which means you're running around with this magical sword that kills the crap out of your enemies, but obviously you may be a big target, right? Because you can't bank it, you know. So you have to prepare for these consequences. And there will be multiple ones over time spread out in the world, and it's up to the players if you want them or not, if you want to fight for them or not. And this is one of the cool things, because you know, a lot of people are thinking about sieging. Oh, you need to prepare your siege and it's all or nothing. You have to siege everything, you need to destroy everything. Either you fail or you succeed. That's one way of sieging your enemies, right? But this adds a much lighter level of tier when it comes to sieging. For instance, if you see, well, let's go get a relic today. You can grab a small gang and you can start sieging only to try to get the relic. You don't need to make a huge insane investment to go for a relic. And there may be small cool skirmishes fighting over these relics. Every now and then you can just grab your friend, go and try to fight for a relic and have a lot of fun and casual encounters. So that is the relic war. From large scale to small scale, I would say. But it, like I said, it doesn't require huge investments siege-wise. That's one of the cool things with it. So small groups can also try to go for any relic wherever they want, whenever they want. Alright, new TC buildings and services. So that's up to the players, right? If the players want the broker system, you want to be able to have a specific shop functions for yours, for a specific house for TC, or anything else that you find that we want now rather than later. This is it, right? Grand Theft Relic, exactly. Brokers. Yeah, that's one of the options here, right? If that's a high demand, this is the one to go for. Right, let's continue. You see, it's a big list, right? Alright, and then we have new dungeons.
Wait.
Obviously self-explanatory. We have got a lot of great feedback from you, the players. What is good in a dungeon, what is fun, what is great. How they should be designed in terms of multiple entrances and exits. What kind of rewards. And where we should place some of them. Obviously, good content for everyone, right? We know we need and want more dungeons spread out over Mialand. And sooner or later we need them. We want to see what do we want first. That's the purpose of this kind of interaction, right? Next one, new points of interest. How we want to expand on those, add a bunch more with more interesting clues, riddles, hidden treasures, and more rewarding treasures to just, again, make the world feel more rewarding wherever you go. Not as heavy commitment as a dungeon, more casually, but still a lot more of those. And an example of those, if you have examples, we would like to see these types of points of interest with these types of rewards or threats. You know, we're open to hear that when it comes to this one. New creatures, also self-explanatory. You want new opponents now, new creatures types, new humanoid types, invasions types. You know, you want to see the interest when it comes to that. So that's that one. Let's continue. This is the last one for now. We also have magic schools. And the current options we are starting out with, because these are the ones that can add a lot of cool combat systems ways. Different from the other schools, quite very different I would have to say. So even non-mages may want to tap into one of them, because they are not classic magic, just throwing magic, but it could be like a hybrid melee fighting magic component. Staff magic, for instance, you first have to learn to craft and create your staff. You can use this staff as a weapon, and you can also tap into specific, a lot of channeling types of magic with this one. Illusionism, you are a master thief of illusions, so obviously pretty cool to mix a thief and illusionist, because you can then obviously both fool AI but also players. You can have crazy things being displayed and the players don't know if it's real or not. Some of them you can even interact with if you're really mastering the perfect illusionists spells, but if they're weaker it may only be a vision to fool them on distance, and then it breaks the closer you get or even interact with it. So a pretty cool thing that can be used to fool the enemies. Holy shit, they have 10 enemies and they have 5 Mulvas, but in fact it's one little noob transferring items, and they scare the freak out of the murderers to not even engage. How cool would that be, man? Fucking insane. So there's some cool nifty things tying to some of these schools that isn't really the classic mage throwing fireballs. You see what I mean? That's why they're here. We want to show that there are other types of magical components that are not just throwing fireballs, right? Animism. You can take form of different animals and beasts, convert your limbs and be a melee marauder, crazy stuff, and just be a beast. Like, you know, Twilight Vampire or those lycanthropes. Go beast mode with mixed magic in very cool ways. So that's a little bit what they're tapping into, and they also utilize animal components for beasts and animals in the world. Mentalism is a cool mixed school that allows you to do blinks and specific attacks as well. If you make a specific build to be a lightweight, small, thin, not a fat or obese mage, but the opposite, to utilize your blink travel strength to go in and out and do specific hit and runs tactics. Obviously you will be weaker when you're a thin, small character body type, but you can then stronger utilize some of those utilities much more effectively than if you were a big, heavier mage. Harmonism is you utilize instruments in magical ways to do different types of boost and magical components.
Bard?
You can confuse enemies in different ways, and you can play cool instruments. You know, the cantinas in Star Wars Galaxies, when you're using instruments, a little bit of that also. So there's some cool component that can be tied to this. So yeah, those are some of the options when it comes to if the community want more magic type in the game. Like I mentioned, we do want to finalize the last component in elementalism, and we want to revisit a few spells in the other schools, and then go to one of these depending on popularity and what people vote on. Right. So that is the big list of that we're gonna use to create our upcoming roadmaps. No, we're not porting any spaghetti codes hypnostatic. We stopped that long time ago, and it doesn't. You can't even just port it anymore because the systems are so different. We rebuilt the core in so many ways. So So the next step for us is to post this on the forums with information on there, so everyone that wasn't participating here can still read up a little bit on them. And then eventually we're gonna announce the voting, starting the voting using the account sections. So now you kind of know what we're looking at. It's gonna be interesting to see what you guys want first, what the popularities are in these different categories. So yeah. Let's see. I think I missed the assassination, the rogue assassination, or did I? But yeah, that was supposed to be on the list as well. Similar to thievery, you can go to
You've been examined.
assassination style, or if it was in the same category. Along with that comes trap making, poisoning. We will add that on the forums as well. So yeah, and these are many of the ones that we have had kept repetitive questions. When is this coming? Are you gonna add that? When is this coming? Are you gonna add that? Those are included pretty much on this list. It's quite a big list, so like I said, there will be several roadmaps to go through delivering all these, obviously, right? It's gonna be a long time, I want to make that clear. But the point here is to identify what do we want first, what is most popular, where's the most bang for the buck that we all want to enjoy, right? And there will be something in every category, so we can't just focus on, like here, we can't just focus on magic schools, right? And just do magic for a very long period of time. 5 years, that's a bit stretching. I have quite a lot more on the list, but these are the, what I would say,
Oh, damn it.
most likely bring most value, most people are interested of them, so it makes sense to pick these out of the even further list that we obviously eventually we will continue on whenever we have delivered these ones. But these ones are the main, I would say, that most people are interested in. Now the next step is, in what order do we put this together? Can you see the full list again, or just make it's actually 7 pages. So I went through all 7 pages, and we're gonna post them on the forums as well, so you can all see them there. I just shortly went through them as well, explain them, but we'll have something written description for them as well on the forums. Yes, the profession tattoo barber is there as well. We could add that already in this list as well, I guess. We have a pack of additional hair and beards already, but we don't want to add them into the character creation because we want that pack for along with that profession. I guess we could add that on the list just to see if it stands out in any way or form in terms of prioritized order. Yeah, I guess I could scroll through them very quickly. Here are the main features, I would say, that are not a very specific category, but big main features. I'll just go through them quickly again.
What happened to my fucking signet?
And we have more combat focused.
Damn it.
These will most likely be 2 categories. The adrenaline system is one, which is a huge one. The next one is a combat polish phase, I would say. Smoothing things out, looking at some of the animations, give you a charge blink that allows for a counter feint. Stamina gains when you do successful parries to give more skill ceiling, and 1x versus X abilities a little bit, you know. Decapitations, we want to enable that again. It crash declines in Unreal 4. We'll try that in Unreal 5. Refining the blood. Have some ARP elements. We want board games. I want to play poker with you. I'm gonna hang in the tavern every
Board games sounds
evening to win your money. Some player gear, quite self-explanatory. New weapon types options, crossbow functions, throwing weapons, new armor sets, dual wielding weapons, offhand torch, more mountable creatures.
I love it.
Territory control related relic system, quite hot. I suspect this will be quite popular. There's quite a lot of excitement thing here. It's light skirmishing, infinite PvPing pretty much with that one. You fight for the relics and you can't just log out with it or bank them. They will be always persistent in the world. Pretty cool stuff. Very successful in the first game, but we're refining it to be even better in this version. And of course, if there's specific TC function services you want now, the second one is on the list here for that. And we got some PvP stuff, new dungeons, always a big desire to have those hotspots in the world, right? New input points of interest, and we're looking forward to get suggestions, feedback on that. What you would like to see? New creatures, similar thing there if you want to have a pack of new opponents. And then we have the magic options. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna post it on the forums with some information, so everyone can dig at it and then discuss, give your inputs or whatever. We will get the information of. Hopefully, it clearly shows us these are the areas that most of our players want now rather than later. And then we're gonna open up the voting polls, the voting in your accounts. All right. I guess we getting close to the 2-hour mark already, guys. So we are, I guess, in good time for. Let's see. For the next step here, right? Let's make it happen. Oh my god! Another one. Tears FPS, thank you very much for the prime. Thank you very much. Let's go. Exclamation mark MMO2, guys. It is up. Let's do it. Damn, it's cold here, guys. 17 degrees in my room. 17 degrees Celsius. Winter is coming. Another one, eh? Smooch kisses with 13 months. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Where's Saduki? Saduki is obviously a very huge project also, right? There's so many components needed to add the next continent. Obviously it is a requirement sooner or later, and if things goes as planned, population is steadily growing, it's a requirement, right? Because Milan can only hold so many players before it gets crowded, and we will need more lands, and obviously sooner or later it's going to be very exciting to have a huge cool expansion of new lands to explore and discover with new cities, dungeons, mobs, craftable, new everything in many categories is included in our new continent openings. So we are kind of adjusting our workflow depending on scalability and population growth moving forward. It's something we always have to be very prepared for. You know, we're having a pipeline. We know what's needed to now generate and build another continent when we already done that work on Milan, moving from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5. Milan can hold like 1,500 max comfortable. We aren't even that far off. I think we can afford a few more players before it feels, you know, that there's a lot of players everywhere. We've been close to 3,000 at peaks, and that's when I got a lot of DMs saying, I think you have to do something because I can't go to a single freaking dungeon or camp or anything without getting killed by different groups and players and guilds, and I can't even leave the city without being killed left and right. I only get those when we are in very high numbers. And yeah, obviously, again, it's harder to have your choice to try to hide and avoid a lot of dangers in PvP if it's crowded on Milan, right? So, yeah. We're looking to maybe add a few additional FOV options. Will the Savage Mantle Cloak from Spotted Pipe be a discontinued tradable item, or will it be untradeable, retrievable? I can reroll my character and always retrieve it. Yeah, so you have a new window now. If you log in on PTR, you will see there's a reward button. If you click that one, that's where you can retrieve specific items like that cape or future veteran capes that comes over time. Those are bound to your account, so if you reroll your character, you can still retrieve that window and get it again. You can't trade them or lose them.
Incoming emote.
Lord bro, no dungeon in game that is not would look down. I mean, obviously, if you only have a few dungeons, right, they can easily be locked down by a few guilds. But the more dungeons we have spread out, obviously, the harder that will become, right? The more land, continents, and more dungeons, the more options for all random players to visit these different things. If one side is completely locked off, all the dungeons, there will be more of a time that allows them to go there instead. That is the long-term goal here, right? Alright, let's run a few more minutes and then we are rolling the dice. Rolling the dice. So guys, have you been dude? Thank you for the prime. 3K is unplayable, over 2K is really unpleasant. It varies a lot, I think, but I think many kind of are on the same, that 4K is probably in the upper cap for Milan sized. Around 4K is gonna be chaotic, very chaotic. I think that is the general consensus from a lot of players that's been here for a long time. 3K already, yeah, probably already feeling quite crowded, so 4K may be pushing it to extreme levels. I'm not sure, but that may be correct based on what a lot of people are saying also. 1800 was a sweet spot. Yeah, maybe. I mean, obviously it depends a lot, right? If you are a person that loves to run into all kind of crazy shenanigan and be prepared for lockdown dungeons and conflicts left and right, then that may be, you know, you maybe want to be in the upper spectrum of amount. But if you're more want to be more exclusive and explore with your friends and not have too many conflicts, obviously you may want to have either more land or a few less players running around, right? But that's the thing, right? And that's why we eventually need more lands because the plan is to grow, not just stand still. With Unreal 5, we enter a very important switch of phase in Star Wars, which means obviously we need to follow up and make sure everything is good, starting with Unreal 5, but so far everything looks very solid, and also a big thanks to everyone that are participating in PTR, helping us debug a lot of the performance struggle we have been doing. But with that in place, we will also start approaching obviously new content, quality of life features that makes the game fun and exciting. We've been very still for a very long time on live, several months of nothing, in not the best shape because of a lot of TC issues. We addressed that. Obviously people looking forward and getting very hungry for exciting content and features to expand this game, get more sand in the sandbox. And we're entering that phase also along with Unreal 5 finally. So, you know, things should be picking up again, exciting things going in, more fun, more enjoyment, more regular following up patches and content patches over time, and pinpointing specific marketing to show the game for more players out in the world. And hopefully we will grow in a controlled pace. And that also allows us to expand the team to give you even more gameplay over time. Can you add how much development time we estimate it takes for each feature when you vote? Yeah, so we have already a category for each one. If it's a short, medium, high, or very high, we have those kind of categories already. So we're gonna see how we we present this so it kind of makes sense, because that helps you to also get the idea that even though if majority are voting for one feature that may take, you know, 2 roadmaps or two patches or months to finish, that means it can't be on the first batch of roadmap, even though majority wants it. You see what I mean? So yeah, we'll try to make that indication as well, so you get a better idea of, even though we want it, this is a big one, it's gonna take a while, depending on what it is. Some of them, like I said, are fast, some of them medium, and some are bigger projects. Meals, donkeys, those are pretty cool. A lot of people have been asking for them to have backs. Maybe we can add those versions, the mules, the donkeys again. It's part of one of those, right? We want new mounts types. Do we start with the Alldayerrydaybaby, perhaps, most likely, and then maybe the mules. Maybe we can cover the donkey. It's not that far off from a horse, so we have a pretty good baseline to start molding from. We'll see, right? We're considering combining arena mode and dimension run into one project. They have a few functions that they both benefit from or use. Yes, we talked about that when we went through them all. So they have some similarities, absolutely, which means if we do one of them, the other one is already getting one component required for them. 4 games were on Sprint 5, Theory was on Refire Bracket. Why are they not done already? Because we stated when we removed them, look, we can't stress those functions in, they were half finished. We had to drop some of the important bug fixing if we wanted to stick with that. So instead of that, when we saw it doesn't make sense, we said we have to postpone those two to focus on Unreal 5. It's a huge project and we want to make sure we cover the Unreal 5 transition in a good state, and then we can 100% focus on the features instead, rather than have them spread out. So I hope that makes sense. That was the reason when we did that. Fire Banks, thank you for the prime.
I'm gonna get rank 6 today. That's a big get for me.
Unfinished. It's more like we want quality of life on it, right? And there's a lot of things we want quality of life on, but it doesn't mean that it's not finished. but we know when it comes to adding quality of life, which also goes along with this. So these,
Man, I
these
do
are
have a
just
scroll of
features. We
warp.
don't add quality of
I
life.
just
and
don't
bug
see
fixes
it.
on
Where
these
the
lists
fuck is
because
it? Oh, I put it
obviously
away.
we're always prioritizing those, right?
Shit.
And like I mentioned, when we have finished the last thing in elementalism, we plan to go back.
No, I can
on
just
Necro,
leave,
which
but
is on
I do
Echo.
have to pull
There's a
out
few things we
food. I
wanna
have to
polish
buy
and fix there
food.
before we continue on next Magic
And-
School, whenever that is. And yeah, Beastmaster needs a lot of balancing, I would say. We still need to refine some of those abilities to make full use of those. So yeah, we need to polish there as well.
I'm gonna buy food. I forgot food. And
The UI, I'm not sure.
oh my god, I
what
didn't get
part
Signet. Oh
mean
my
about the
god,
UI.
it's alright. I don't need Signet for this.
2K already crashed the server. No, absolutely not. So it was many months ago we had struggles with main performance on population.
Sweets and
Since
drinks,
the Steam
vegetables,
release, we had
seafood.
dedicated coders on optimizing the servers, and we have gone leaps over the months.
Damn it.
So even though we haven't been close to the cap, we have kept pushing those optimization patches. The PTR today have one huge server optimization that isn't live today even.
14
so
fucking
with Unreal
K
5 we
is
also
so
get a huge
expensive.
optimization on the network.
And then
So no, the server doesn't crash.
Oh yeah, the instant warp
due to
scroll.
population. What
What you
happens
can do
first
to
is
get a D2 again.
if we have a lot of network packaging queuing up or chaos because we have a lot of people and a lot of fights happening simultaneously,
I need the
you
scroll
will
of warp. I
notice
need it.
small lag happening first naturally, and when that happens it pauses the login queue to slow down. So whenever people logs out, it allows people to log in, and as soon as the queue have released a little bit, it removes the cap entirely. So it's a dynamic system that handles it, and we haven't gone close to those as long as all the functionals running normally, because the capacity have been greatly improved a lot since Steam. So yeah, if the server crashes, it is because of a very specific reason, when something gone very wrong, and that haven't been at all related to any capacity problems as of latest period of the latest year. It's been specific codes that have been wrong that caused either node crashes or, in worst case, server crashes. But they have gone through all of those that have happened over the year and managed to solve all of them we have found and got reports, logs of so far. But obviously the more players are playing regularly, the higher the chances is that something that goes wrong more rapidly, which also leads to possible node crashes or, worst case, server crash. And if there's less players, the chances of the code goes wrong is obviously less, right? So it increases the rate of a possible crash naturally. But yeah, every time that happens, we go through the logs carefully as a team and do everything we can to solve them and patch them as soon as possible, so we always have server stability. That's obviously very important. Obviously, if we see insane amount of players wanting to play, we are adapting the marketing to the population as well. If we start out carefully and we see that we are fully in control of population, we can start pushing more and more marketing. So we are very careful about that. So we distribute the marketing in a very efficient way, and we pinpoint the marketing. If we see, even though we don't do any marketing and for some reason we have way too many thousand players that want to log in and the queue becomes ridiculous, we have to scale up with additional content as if they were another Saruka continent, which still allows you to move between them if we get that many players. But we have a much higher capacity that allows the queue to move very quickly depending on how many players we have online. And like I said, we will adjust the marketing based on initial pressure. But obviously if we see that, yeah, you know, we are growing rapidly, there's a big demand, more people want in, we will need additional continents, right? More land. 2K and boom. No, come on, I just explained it. Ridiculous. We've been surpassing 2K many times without the server sweating whatsoever. I'm just saying, Papa GoFundMe, we all donate, hire some temps, get shit done, chicka boom. Cause girl THMX. So the plan is obviously to go live on 28th on Epic Game platform. We're starting the free month, and after that we hope that we have
Fuck, I forgot
good
Najee.
support by players wanting to subscribe to the game, continue to get content and enjoy the game, and that will in return allow us to hire more developers, add more things to the game. That is the loop we are aiming for. Yes, last time we had server issues, it was not because we had hit a cap of player amount or anything like that. We had multiple nodes lining up, crashing and dumping everything on the next node, crashing, dumping on the next one. It became a chain reaction that was horrible. So eventually the entire world was running on one node, and it just broke down. It was a severe issue that happened, and it looks like Sebastian found that issue and solved it. So that was not due to something commonly being, happening. We're gonna put the roadmap on the forums so you can read it all there. So you'll get it soon. When does the update happen? So I'm discussing with the team if we wanna roll out a soft Unreal 5 on Steam, just to make sure everything is good before we also start Epic Games store. We're discussing those details right now, but obviously on the 28th we need to be live, right, on everything. Just like most of us just need to come back in 6 to a month for a relaunch. What do you mean? The relaunch is on the 28th. That's next week. So come back next week. Epic Optimism. Epic Optimist. The still plans to have new for the new content to be potentially be a NA server. That is still a possibility.
Oops.
Can't confirm 100% exactly what road we need to go, but it's something we are evaluating still.
Oh wait, I forgot the waters.
Alright, shall we roll it, ladies and gentlemen? I think it's time, eh? Holy shit, yeah, already 20 past. 20 past.
9,000 for what? No. Yeah, but how much are water clusters? There's 700. No,
Let's roll. Let's roll the dice.
Just give me water crystals,
Holy
damn
shit,
it.
I'm way
Water
behind as
crystals,
usual.
where
I'm
are
jumping
they?
down now,
Water.
and then
What?
we will roll it.
What? There are water crystals. 700.
Oh my god. Right. Right. I will roll it, guys. Let me find a button.
Yeah, that's enough. Fuck it. I just want to go. I still feel like I'm going to be behind these people. It's so annoying. For some reason. I'm always behind everybody when I'm in a group like this. It's for some reason it's like some city I chose or some
The chosen
way
one,
that I
the
navigate
Jedi,
or something. I'm just
the
slightly
Jedi,
like 2 to 10
function
minutes slower
is
than
not on
them.
roadmap yet.
So annoying.
I don't know if it's suitable to have it as a votable option already, because even though a lot of people can get the experience surrounding it, it's still just one player at a time that can tap into that. So it's not like everyone and any casual new player can benefit from that. It's just a cool thing in the background, and if you are lucky, you will see him or face him or fight with him or against him. So you see what I mean. That's why I'm not sure, because it still is quite the project. So we need to aim on a lot of bang for the buck, where most people get excited and can enjoy those functions before we make it those more cool but more rare functions, right? Awfully long games. I mean, Fever was cool in the first game, minus, like I said, no consequences, no balance, which we know exactly how to deal with this time around. Alright, giveaway time, guys. Good luck, everyone. Let's go. Yeah,
Didn't like how
the
Country
Quebec,
Line is
exactly.
insane. Just insane.
Boom! Congratulations, Twilo! 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 Are you here? Are we good with Twilo? Twilo? What do we say? He's not here even. I see a few Twilo in the list. I don't like that. I mentioned that before. You know? We don't want a person to do a few Twilio accounts to up the chances. You see what I mean? Talked about this before. Shall we re-roll it? It does look like there's multiple Twilios. I don't like that. I don't like that. Alright? So don't do that if you want to try to win the key. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. I'm rolling again. I don't like that. Whatsoever. Whatsoever. Alright? I'm rolling. I'm rolling. Let's see. Boom! Gryphonum! Gryphonum! Alright, let's take a look here then. Gryphon. Let's see. Gryphonum. Why do we have 55 Gryphon? Is this? I see a few legit one, but looks strange, guys. Is it strange or not? Griff is alright. I don't know if it's the same or not. I can't tell. It's there seems to be some legit usually just a popular name. Gryphon, is it? As I see, most of them seems real, right? Yeah, I think this is the one then. I think we're good for now this week. Let's go for it. I don't see the same noob accounts that I did on the previous one. Let's do it then. Let me find that little key. That little key.
See, this guy's city screwed him on this one. His city screws him worse. Windy screws you worse on Heaven's Tower. So I beat him. Bassock's a little bit better than Heaven's Tower.
Send a little DM, Gryphon.
It's so funny. His city screwed him. My city screwed me on this last
Lee,
one.
thank you for the
His
Prime,
city screwed him on
8
this one.
month. Thank you. Thank you. Congrats, Gryphon. Are you MO1 veteran or MO2 veteran? Gryphon.
I'm an MMO1 veteran. I actually played it a lot.
Jesus, my freaking
I
neck.
played Mortal 1 a lot.
That's it. That's it. Phew. My God. No, only one giveaway per session normally. We got a little gamble, old school gamble play away. So not too much old school, I would say. Pretty fresh in the Mortal universe. My neck is not very good, but I'm all right. But yeah, we managed through the stream today, so I think it's a good cue when my neck is locking up with extreme puncture pain. We are working on the text and the bubbles right now. The UI is wrong and fooling the players, so we are working on that right now. Griffin is a mythical creature. It is a cross between lion and eagle. I think I know which one, yes. The Holy Fool, thank you for the 18 month. What a streak, man. What a streak. Impressive streak. Guys, have you tried the task system on PTR? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And you can get some pretty cool capes from that, eh? Pretty cool capes. What am I dodging now, Mo 2? I never
This
dodged
guy's
anything,
sort
right?
of boring me now.
Hey guys,
Always
God
respond
damn
to
it.
everything at least.
Yeah, and I did all fucking 3 hours of it. I can't believe I did. I am insane. I can't believe I ended up doing rank fucking 6. I had no clue that that's what was going to be happening. No clue. No clue. I had to buy food. Food was expensive, damn it. Oh, making money in this game is such torture. I don't know what to do about it, really. Those elementals, like grinding the dark elemental was good money. It saw me through for a long time. I spent that money today. Going back to Stroha will get me more money as I kill, like, I don't know. Fuck, where was that chest? I looked and looked for that fucking chest. It was so annoying. I have to sit or I may not have the mana. Actually, I also want to release. Oh no, did I go the wrong way? Oh god. Fuck. What did I do wrong? I don't remember. Fuck. What did I do wrong here? I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh, I didn't go far enough here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I better drop. So like I came in on this. No, that it is it. I just took a wrong turn is what it is. I forgot. There it is. I took the wrong turn. I took the wrong turn. Been a little while. God, am I doing this right? I think I'm doing this right. Yeah, you have to go all the way the fuck around. I have to double check the instructions. Fuck, I don't remember, but I'm gonna try. I really don't remember. Do you drop down the hole? Yeah, like I'm fairly sure you do have to drop down the hole, don't you? No, you don't drop down the hole. That's to go. Oh god, do you drop down the hole? You don't, do you? I don't think you do. You go all the way around that stupid way, and I don't remember how to do it. It's like... God damn it, I don't remember. Oh... It's okay. God damn it, I don't remember. You have to like go, yeah, you have to go all the way around, but I don't remember how to get down there at all. You have to go down, you have to go down, yeah, you have to go all the way around, yeah, like, or I don't know, does that work? I don't remember. It's like, yeah, like you can go down over here. Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's how it does work, yeah. I think. I'm fairly fucking sure. I'm fairly sure. I'm fairly sure. For coffer key, you drop down the hole. For this, you go underneath, and like I went a little bit too far, but not really. Oh god. It's been so long. Like I'm so surprised I'm able to do this. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm just like, I mean, I've done it in the last 5 years. Like I've done this recently, but it's just like scary. It's scary to me. Plus, I'm really gambling here. I'm like super gambling right here. Yeah, like I can't believe I just took that kind of risk. Yeah. There we go. All the way in. Yeah. And all the way through the fucking 4 portals and all this. It's just so bad. It's... Oh no, did you guys die? It's orcs, I think. Uh-oh. Wait. Who's here? Oh. I could raise that wood. Damn it, I'm about to go through the same shit he is. I might die too. We'll see. Fuck, man, you didn't pop the door. Pop the fucking door, god damn it. Yes. And then cast the invisible spell. Go, go. Scared me. Yeah, he went the wrong way. These are... They're EP. Oh, I can take them. Fuck them.
You've been examined.
Whoa. That's fucking shit. Oh, God damn it.
You've been examined.
Now, rank 6, rank 6. Okay, so there it is. I got rank 6. Just gotta go turn into the president. And that's good. That's a bunch of bullshit out of my way and another wardrobe thing. Wardrobe plus. I'm gonna get another wardrobe, thank God. Because I fucking need it. I'm about to do ninja and thief. And that is so much storage space, but what a good way to end the shift. It's been 15 hours and 40 minutes, guys. I'm going to stop here at the 15-hour and 40-minute mark. It's been a great day. Finished up with some Final Fantasy 11. Did rank 5 to rank 6 in one sitting. Like some pro shit. And I didn't die. I died on the... what's it called? What's it called? Eco Warrior. I died on the Eco Warrior because I was the biggest DPS. I did double anybody else the initial damage when I cast the first fire spell. It was the biggest hit anybody there did, and so I immediately got wiped by the boss. He just came and smacked me. He was like, "What the fuck was that? You just basically headshot me." And I was like, "Yeah, I did. I headshot you. I'm sorry." And he fucking wasted me. And so that was the only real death I had today. It's actually kind of cool. Yep, scroll of instant warp. Oh no, I didn't have to use it. Yeah, so cool. Gonna go turn in to the president here because it's not hard to do. And then I'll get my rank 6 and my new wardrobe, and I'll look at that, and then I'll log. It's been 15 hours and 40 minutes. I'm gonna kill. Well, no, maybe I shouldn't turn the music off actually because there's some RP coming up. But just a reminder, guys, I'm on all day, every day. My name is skycat.live. My website is skycat.live. And I appreciate the wonderful support and all the follows and the love and the subs and everything that you guys have been giving me lately. And I really want to thank you. Sorry to bail out so early on a Sunday evening, but I have been at it for 15 hours. I will be back on Monday morning at like 2 a.m. or something around there. Maybe a little earlier, like 12, I don't know. And I will do all this again. I will get rested and full with it and everything. I will come a little bit later, actually, because well, I don't know. This sort of depends. But no, I think I'll actually be there at like 2 in the morning or something like that. And then the mid-shift, I'm going to take like an hour and a half break or something like that. I don't know. It'll be hard. Hard to say. But in any event, let's go turn in what I just did. Gustaberg, Saruta Bruta. I'm going to Gustaberg, yeah. This always jars me that this was the system they used to travel around the world. It's so weird. What do we do here? No, don't do anything weird. Teleportation. Yes, teleport with Gil. And I get to go turn in and get my rank 6. Those guys were awesome. I liked everybody in there. That was like, even this other guy had a crisis of faith like I did. I was like, I'm scared that we're gonna make it. Like, I wasn't scared. I was just like, I'm not sure everybody here can make it is the problem. I know I could because I've done it like 50 times. But I was like, can everybody else here do it? So now we go turn into the president. Are you a badass enough dude to go talk to the fucking president again for a long cutscene? It is fun to get it all done. I like that I don't have to pay for... Like, I think I might crash a whole bunch of different private servers and play games for free on private servers and stuff. Like, I was thinking I probably would do a real and verifiable crash course of Dark Age of Camelot, and then a real and verifiable crash course of Arc Rage, which is the Arc Age server that doesn't have stupid ass labor points or whatever. So you aren't limited in what you can do each day. They actually want you to play the game how it was meant to be played instead of stupid ass whatever company made Treon or whoever the fuck made that game. I forget the name of the company, but yes, enter the president's office, yeah. You don't have any missions to complete? Do you not have any missions to complete? Return to the president for your reward. I didn't get credit or something. The game fucked me. The game fucked me. I didn't get credit. I had the right cutscene and everything. I don't know. Oh no, here we go, here we go. Oh, you scared the fuck out of me. I was like, what is going on? Rank 6, you scared me. I was like, you fucked me, you fucked me. I took a screenshot. I was like, nah. Dun 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 dun. This was when Square was a lot happier. Dun 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 dun. Ha 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 ha. I love Sid. Oh yeah, it was 20,000 gil. Alright, I have one, my Mog Wardrobe one got, capacity. 30 out of 45, 20 out of 55. Yeah, 30 out of 45. Hey, cool, I got more storage space now. I don't have Mog Wardrobe 2, though. I wish I had 2. But that's alright. Whatever. Alright, well, I'm gonna leave. I left the wrong way, I think. I went to your closet, sir. Terribly sorry. Couldn't figure out how to get out of your office. To the Forsaken Mines, is that what it's called? Or whatever? Return of the Tailkeeper. Speed to a gate guard. Now I have to go do that. I wonder if I should just go unlock it so I can continue to do work on it like right away. I don't want to worry about this. Easy vape. Fuck, did I go the wrong way? I did. Alright, and when I get to my Mog House, I'll stop. You know, actually, there's something else I wanted to do before I go. I don't really want to worry about this, but I think I will. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's grain. Yeah, grain seeds I think is actually really good. I'll buy a stack of grain seeds, yeah. I am buying others miscellaneous sort. I'm looking for grain seeds. Yeah, like a stack of grain seeds. Oh my god, are you fucking serious? What? Herbs are sold out. Fruits are... What are those? Wait, 12 fruit seeds is 600 gil. That's sold. Fuck it. Give me like a stack of water crystals, yeah. I want the shepherd's bonnet, damn it. This guy's 72. He's wearing Royal Squire's mufflers. Oh, wow, I thought my gear was bad. Never mind. He's 72, and he's using like a level 26 axe for some reason. Go, because he's going to do BCNM or something. Yeah. It's like, no, his gear is not bad. I was kidding. Okay, any money? Money. A little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do gardening. Oh, I got to put it away. do you. And where's the fruit seeds? I didn't get them. No, I didn't get them. That's alright. I'm not worried about it. I wonder how hard it would be to get 10 fruits. Or yeah, just kill saplings. A lot of saplings. Try to get seeds. Okay, and this is where I stop. Kind of anticlimactic, but I mean, it has been 15 hours and 50 minutes recording. So, on that note, guys, I am going to stop. My day is done. It's 6:40. This is right about where I want it to be. It's perfect. I'll go to bed, and I'll see you in the morning. Might be a little bit later, actually. If I'm going to bed at like 8 or 9, it'll be like 5 in the morning or something like that. It's going to be a little bit later. Sorry. But, you know, yeah, that's fine. I'll probably do a walk. I'll get up and I'll walk, and then I'll come, I'll be on probably like 6 or something, 7, maybe. I don't know. When the sun rises, I'll go walking. Or I might get on when it's dark. I don't know. I have no idea what time I'll wake up, so... Anyways, I love you guys. Just a reminder, this whole session of 16 hours and... I'm sorry, 15 hours and 52 minutes and 53 minutes was recorded and will be placed on my YouTube if you care to see this session again in its entirety. And so all 16 hours of this session that we just did will be on my YouTube. I'm going to post it right now in front of you guys. I'm going to begin the process right now because that's how I conclude every day. Every day I put at least 8 to 12 or 16 hours of stuff on YouTube. And I like generating content, and I think it was a really great day. Got a lot done, and I don't think I even really got angry today. It's awesome. So we're going to begin the upload process, and I'm going to say thank you so much. I love you guys. You have a wonderful day.